Just like a gun or money. In the wrong hands, it's a problem.
Yes.
AI in the wrong hands, it's a problem. So from an integrity standpoint, I think you have to use it to learn and not, be transparent, not use it as a crutch and present it as if it's your own work.
This AI thing has been coming up, and I'm excited to talk about it because the believers are upset, they angry, they some of them appreciate it, some of them don't. You got Claude, you got open AI, you got closed AI, you got up AI, you got down AI, you got around AI.
Sometimes I don't even want to open my laptop. I'm like, well, who done did what and release what? I went to bed an expert, you wake up, you're a beginner again. I've also heard, this is the mark of the beast and this is how the Antichrist is going to come through. What I do know is nobody is mad that the airplane was invented. Nobody's mad that the milkman don't have to come to the door no more.
Come on.
Nobody is mad that you don't get your mail delivered by horses, right? So there is some caution there, but you writing your blog post with ChatGPT is not going to kill the world, right? So you need to learn how to use it.
Hey, thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, pray. Thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way.
It's a new week at Just Ask the Podcast, the safe space where transparency meets transformation. It's your girl, Jessica S. Smith, and I do nothing without my girl, Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, she is back here, back on the other side of the camera, and she doesn't have a mic today because we are here live at Podcast Summit. We just wrapped up, I just wrapped up my sessions, and listen, the guest that we have today, we've been waiting on. We had to go ahead and get this one done while she was here in the A with us. She just wrapped up hers. Listen, this AI thing has been coming up, and I'm excited to talk about it because the believers are upset, they angry, they some of them appreciate it, some of them don't. We're gonna talk about it today, okay? So I had to bring the expert, the brilliance, the brilliant, magnificent, my sister. None other than Cynthia Respert.
Hey, I love that. I'm going to have to pay you later. We have to write that down.
Listen, you paying me by helping me understand what this AI stuff is. How you doing, sis?
I am amazing. I'm amazing. Live here at Podcast Summit 2026.
Listen, you've spoken every year.
I have.
How has that been? Have you seen yourself develop?
I love the progression, one of the event itself.
Yeah.
But then it's a growth journey, right? I remember the first year I was going, and I speak before.
Yeah.
I've spoken before. I speak in other spaces, but I think it was different here, and AI was just coming out.
Yeah.
When I say that room was thirsty.
Yeah.
Like just soaking up all the knowledge. And it was just right when I was getting into it. So that was good. And just to see the progression from then to now, today we talked about something different because we had a few sessions. And my heart is always for people to get it and be able to do something with it and not feel overwhelmed. So today we let the information breathe a little bit.
What does that look like?
Yeah, so when I say that, I mean, I'm not going to give you 10 other tools to learn. I'm not going to give you another 15 strategies, but let's let the information breathe, and we're going to do an action plan today. Let's execute. Everything that you have learned, these notes, these screenshots you've taken. Girl, I got 5,000 screenshots in my, you know how you don't go back. Right. So I'm like, take these screenshots, take the notes, take pictures of your notes, put them into this AI, whatever one that you choose, and let's get an action plan based on your goals. What are you going to do before the barbecue or after the barbecue? And you forget your motivation that you had here. So we made action plans and just made room. We threw on some lo-fi music after I talked a little bit and allowed them to execute.
Is that the problem that you've identified over the years since you specifically speaking about podcasting, right? Because I know you speak on other platforms, but speaking about podcasting specifically, is that the problem that you see a lot, is that we were trying to execute on so much, especially with AI, because you got Claude, you got open AI, you got closed AI, you got up AI, you got down AI, you got around AI.
Sometimes I don't even want to open my laptop. I'm like, well, who done did what and release what? I went to bed an expert, you wake up, you're a beginner again because it's moving so quickly. So much so, I talked about this in there. The president of Anthropic said, hey, we should slow down on this AI development. Like we're not gonna stop it, but we should slow down because these agents and this AI is moving faster than our ability to govern it, our ability to harness it, to keep it in line.
But that's
so
what the Saints scared of, though.
It's self-improving. So yeah.
Yeah, the Saints are scared of it.
The faith area is a whole different subject for sure.
Because I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm asking today because I keep seeing that the dialogue, right? And so I got a shout out to my homegirl, Joy Pittman. Mm-hmm. She wrote a eloquent post the other day, and it was basically talking about saints demonizing the ability to blow on the execution of your business, right? Or the execution of anything, right? And so she was basically saying, hey, this at one point the internet was wrong, and the next point the cell phone was wrong. And all these things are wrong. It's like you're not getting with the program because you're mad somebody's using a tool to execute, but you don't even have anything to execute with. Mm-hmm. And so it's just interesting to see this. What do you think is the biggest frustration there and the misconception?
You know, oftentimes we're afraid of what we don't know. Mm-hmm. And nobody, I don't care who they are, the president of OpenAI, nobody knows, he knows more than we do, but nobody knows the full potential, which is why the CEO said, hold on, everybody slow down. Everybody sit down for a second. Yeah. Let's open our lunch boxes and talk about this because it's accelerating so quickly. We haven't seen anything like it. But when you don't know something, it is the fear of the unknown. Like, oh, if it did that, then what else is it capable of? Then you hear of some real stories, like real incidents of teenagers committing suicide, and its number one use being for therapy. So if it's self-improving, then who's governing that? And it can be unleashed on the people. I've also heard, this is the mark of the beast, and this is how the Antichrist is going to come through. And I don't have any deep domain knowledge. I'm gonna be prayerful in anything I do.
Come on now.
What I do know is nobody is mad that the airplane was invented. Nobody's mad that the milkman don't have to come to the door no more.
Come on.
Nobody is mad that you don't get your mail delivered by horses, right? So every revolution has displaced that skillment of the day. Mm-hmm. But this is exponential, where it's displacing people at a large rate, and then it will create, but it's a process. Like, we all figuring this out. Mm-hmm. Anybody that say they a 10-town expert, so you know more than most, but nobody knows the full picture. Yeah. And those that are well-versed in the space, they're warning, like, y'all have no idea what's coming, right? So there is some caution there, but you writing your blog post with ChatGPT is not going to kill the world, right? So you need to learn how to use it.
Yeah, because it's really, I truly believe it's not going anywhere.
It's not. You can't unsee it.
Like,
who's going back to no AI?
Yeah, but so let me ask you this: how do you remain integral with the use of AI? Because I think that's also a concern. Like, okay, my faith, people talk about faith, but also the integrity of usage of the AI. How do you teach that and lean into that?
So what do you mean by integrity? I would challenge you with that.
So I guess, okay, so this is gonna be real dramatic, but I've heard people say this. So there are some people that said that they know people that have taken a full sermon, since what I'm saying is church, full sermons on AI and all that good stuff. So I think that's probably not the only example, but that's the first example I could think of. Like, what would you consider, I guess I'll throw that question back at you, like, what would you consider integral practice of the use of AI? Sure.
So we talked about that too. You know how you have Child Protective Services, CPS? I say I have copy-paste services. Like, you just copy-paste that. So we talked about that in the session is you take something and you just copy it and you paste it and get the result. No engagement, no understanding, no sauce from you, no critical thinking, then that is how we get AI slop, is what they call it. That's how we get all these ChatGPT flyers looking the same, This one guy, he said, we're in a ChatGPT flyer epidemic or pandemic.
And sick
everything
of
looking
it.
the same. But it's nothing wrong with using it as a template, but then put your sauce on it. It's and I said this in there, it's not your setup for your podcast. Like all of that, all those things being equal, it's really how you show up. The thing that makes this podcast amazing is you and her. Right? The energy you bring, how you phrase it, how you welcome your guests, how you operate in excellence, your energy, your passion for things, your curiosity. So I would challenge when you're talking about a pastor using using AI for a sermon, is what if he was using it as a study tool? So I used to study by looking up the lexicon, and I'll look up do the research, different Bibles, different versions. Okay, so now I can do that with technology. The goal is to still do the studying. It just accelerates that, right? So I would say I wouldn't warn against using it, but as that's a sacred space. It's a holy place. Yeah. But the way you study, I think it should amplify that. Yeah. The way you hear from God, and don't use AI for that. Yeah. Right? Don't say you got it from the Lord and ChatGPT, you got the, would you like me to put this in bullet points? Yeah. There was something funny, this lady, she was doing a prayer and she got it from ChatGPT. This is when it first came out. And at the end of the prayer, she said, in Jesus' name, amen. If you would like me to do another version.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not lying.
Where is this at?
Where's this
at? Please find it.
It was like, if you would like to do another version of a shorter version, it was something like that. When she was,
and she said it.
She was reading the prayer. And it was in one of them formal settings. So she was reading the prayer. Yeah, so. Yeah. It's a mess. It's a mess.
I'm sorry. I need to see that video.
It's shown up in court. Like, that's the thing. When people copy paste without interjecting, okay, what is this doing? Because what we're also preparing for, and I didn't say this up there, is I believe we're going to a promptless society. Like, we're doing all this prompting and stuff. We're going to be speaking natural language, right? So what we're doing right now is practicing, how do I ask the right questions? How do I get the right output? How do I frame this right? Because if you're not asking the right questions, you're going to get some garbage back. And you're like, I didn't even, because when I first started using, I'm like, oh, my husband was right. Like, I wasn't clear about that. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll get, ChatGPT will pull from billions of data points, right? So you'd be like, oh, I wasn't clear about that. I didn't set the room, right? So it's a learning tool, but just like a tool, and I say it's a teammate, but just like a gun or money, in the wrong hands, it's a problem. Yes. AI in the wrong hands, it's a problem. Yeah. The problem is bullets couldn't do something to this lobby. AI is exponentially can reach global proportions. So that's that. So from an integrity standpoint, I think you have to use it to learn and not, be transparent, not use it as a crutch and present it as if it's your own work. Yeah.
I want to lean into something that you're talking about because I wanted to talk about this. Asking the right questions, right? Especially with me being a podcaster. I think the example that you even used, what you saying, oh my gosh, my husband said that I wasn't asking that right. I think one thing I've learned personally with AI is like slowing down enough to think about the right language, right? So when I'm getting the feedback, it's like, oh, I could have thought of that differently, or this is another way I can present this matter. And so I think that we struggle with asking the right questions. So if I'm starting, let's use podcasting as an example because you're really good at that. When I'm starting, let's say I'm doing an episode. We're going to give them practical tools to use. I'm doing an episode. How would you suggest me being able to use the benefits of AI to maximize my potential of that episode?
Well, do you pre-plan questions?
I pre-plan the goal of the conversation. I will say that. The goal of the conversation.
Good. Because I learned something even from Dave Session, The Art of the Interview. Well, you weren't in there. But he was talking about pre-plan versus pre-planned questions are the safety net. Your curiosity should lead. And that's from what I've seen organically, that's what you do too. Getting back to your question, reframe it for me. Oh, how can you maximize it? So I would, in terms of, again, using it as a teammate for it to do your help with your preparation. How do you prepare for a guest to know, like you know me, or we are in the same spaces, but how do you prepare for a guest? Use AI to accelerate that. Like you can have an agent that does that automatically, like set up a workflow and an ecosystem. This is the guest, okay, pull that information, deliver it to my inbox at 6 a.m. the Monday before the Friday taping or whatever that, or the week before, and have that as your virtual teammate, your digital teammate that gets that information for you so you can prepare. From if you do questions, then have it to prepare some questions. But I always say human in the loop, like never just copy paste, because 2,000 times out of 10, good old chat, good old Claudia, whoever you're using is going to have another level.
Yeah.
So I'll say, so, hey, what are we missing? What opportunities? Oh, if this were my presentation, I would. I'm like, bruh, why didn't you start there?
Yeah.
Why didn't you give me your best from the gate?
First.
Yes, correct. So, so always challenge it, put human in the loop, and, use it for, this is what I say. If you want to be a pro in AI, relatively, you take the problem or the pain point, you rewire it, and you optimize it with AI. Don't start with a tool. Like, let me start with the tool, because you'll go down that rabbit hole and you'll still have the problem. So you're trying to solve a problem of preparing for your interview. So how do I prepare for my guests? Do I do questions? Do I need an agent to do all of the email workflow, et cetera?
Yes, we do.
So take...
Just right.
Yes,
we do.
So take the problem that you have and then you apply it there.
Okay.
So that's how I would maximize it.
You know what I just heard you say out of everything?
What?
Know your problem.
Yes.
I think that the opportunity for not just even podcasters, but just in general, people don't really know their problem. And that's also why they're not asking the right question. And so I can only ask what I understand, to what I understand, the degree I understand.
Sure.
And so if I don't understand my problem is admin, or my problems is being more effective in my emails, or being more effective in my language when my interviewing, then I don't know how to use the tool of AI as an assistant. And so I think that people are trying to lean towards AI being the actual thing versus it being the tool that assists them. So I'm glad you said that. But I really want to get into like scent. I call her scent, y'all. I call her
My mama called me scent.
Big scent, not the little one. You are such a phenomenal woman, and getting to know you has been a pleasure. I must be transparent in this moment. Like, I was surprised that you saw me. Yeah. It was, so when y'all was like, hey, when we were the morning meetup, he was like, hey, we want you to do this. I'm like, I don't say nothing in this group. What you saying about? Good, what you saying about?
I have a knack for that, for sure.
Baby, you see, I said, this lady is a seer. I don't know what she's talking about. She's scaring me and stuff. She's scared. I don't want to be
And that was before the podcast.
It was.
Yes, that was in your fear of starting it.
It was.
Yes.
And I'm amazed at your ability to see. And so how did before AI sent, what was she doing? Like, what was life like for you before the AI sent? Because baby, you been flued out.
I travel a little bit. So my background is operations, systems, and logistics. And I've always had a love for processes, like, and I started off in the automotive industry. So I've always loved like, let's make things more efficient, always chasing the efficiency rabbit. But I was also in an environment where it had to go together. So at Ford Motor Company, if a line went down, because I was in supply chain, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars a minute. You had labor, you had this, you could shut down an engine plant. So it was a high stakes environment. So that's where things had to go together. At the same time, I was volunteering in children's ministry. Did that for 25 years, various levels. So that brought in the creative part of me, where let's be efficient, but how do we do it big? How do we do it colorful? So I sit at the intersection of that. So that's why you'll see like the cookout. Let's do this. Let's bring in, the book club. Let's bring in Jess. Let's do, just my ability to see that. So I sit at that intersection, and so much so, it's a funny story. It was Resurrection Sunday, Easter, some people say, and it was on TV. And there was this egg drop, all these eggs on the grass. but it wasn't that many kids. And I said, oh, they did a helicopter thing. And I said, so they're gonna need a process to pick them eggs up. And my husband was like, can you just watch?
Can you stop thinking?
I said, I'm just saying.
Can you stop thinking?
I'm just saying there's more eggs than people. They're going to need one of them Top Golf things. You know, and that's how I think. I'm a process thinker. So that's where I lived, you know, prior to that. So I was in corporate America for 15 years. Then we got married and I was in entrepreneurship and I did operations, basically. Some of what I've done for the morning meetup, but corporations. So I have a longstanding partner that has connected me with large corporations, and I run those projects. AT&T, Cadillac, Detroit Pistons. Like, we've done a lot of work for a long time. JP Chase, and my love for operations and efficiency and creativity has just fused that way. So when AI came out, it was like, oh, you can 10X what you're doing, you can 100X,
You already there.
Yeah, I'm like, let's do it. So it was like a natural trajectory.
So that's why AI wasn't necessarily overwhelming for you, because you were AI.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shout out.
You were literally, she's the first AI, y'all.
Yeah.
She was outside doing it. But no, one of the things you said, that you just said, and I need to repeat it, is that you chased efficiency.
I did.
Efficiency is your love language?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of them, for sure.
It's one of them.
Because, yeah.
So I wonder what the burnout looks like.
Oh, girl. Oh, yeah. You want to tell? You want me to let you know?
I want you to, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this burnout. So, various seasons in life, but I remember distinctly one day. So I was in graduate school, working full time, leading a volunteer team in children's ministry and entrepreneurship side hustle type projects. So I was doing all these things, full load too. Why do we have to do a full load, Cynthia? I don't know. That's not because I want to get done faster, right? Yeah. So all of those things going on. And I remember it was Vacation Bible School is what they call it, VBS. And I was coming out of the house. And I did not know, like, I was tired. So I had to be there at 7 a.m. the next day. And I was tired and it's light outside. So I'm like, oh, I'm late. It's 7 p.m., right? I said, I'm late. So I'm getting dressed. My shoe broke on the way down the steps. I'm getting in the car. I'm rushing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm late. Let me run. And it's only like 10 minutes from my house. So I start riding and I see a young man who's on the team and he lives in the area. And he's waving. I'm like, oh man, he late too. It didn't click yet. So then I get to the parking lot and it's empty. And I'm like, ooh, everybody late. I said, oh, everybody late, right? It's 7 p.m., not 7 a.m., but it was still light outside. I did not know what time it was. And then I got mad at the house. I was still living with my parents at the time. I said, y'all didn't see me rushing around here. You didn't tell me it was 7 p.m.? She said, I didn't know where you had to go, right? So at that point,
I was always
like,
going.
Correct. So that was a defining moment for me. Cause I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. Like, I need to streamline my schedule and really hone in. What does God want me to do in this season? So I did reduce my load at graduate school and did some things there. But I have had multiple things because you are so on point with this throughout. Ministry can be taxing and it can be go. So I have done that. So much so that I was diagnosed with colon cancer. And there was no symptoms. But she said that could have been there for years. And she said it could be stress on the body, it could be whatever. She said that could have been in there for 8 years or so. I was like, nothing happened. Nothing. She said it could have been, who knows how long that's been in there. So that was another clarion call, like, girl, pay attention to your body. Your body has a memory. So slow down. You can't be all things to all people. And things don't have to be perfect. You know what I read one time? It was a book. And it said, sleep is worship. Because by you thinking that you have to stay up, that you have to be in the midnight hour, that things will be sustained by you staying up late and doing what you do, that God don't have it. When you rest, that is worshiping God and recognize he is who he is, and he's got this before the foundation of the world, what your little 3 more hours of no sleep gonna do for this project, right? So it doesn't mean that we don't plan, doesn't mean that we don't, we make sure we're not procrastinating. We do our due diligence and be a good steward. But what you doing staying up as if God don't have this?
Listen.
That's good. It's good.
This is so good.
When you say efficiency, it brought me back to that because I have been that, hold on, everything got to be perfect and putting extra. It's progress over perfection, but that's a daily thing for me. I've gotten better, but it's a daily thing. For somebody wired the way I am, like things have to be perfect and overthinking. Dave mentioned something one day. He was like, yeah, I started without slides so I could just talk. It was a point where I was like, no, where's the slide? That's my guide,
Yeah.
right? So I've gotten better at that, not where I want to be, but it's a process. It's a process. So being wired that way will lead to burnout if it is not governed spiritually.
I think that what the main thing that helps with that though is other people. Like doing relationship with other people that think differently from you.
Sure.
So Desiree is more systems driven, process driven, and that overwhelmed me. That overwhelmed me because I'm a creative. I'm highly creative and highly driven. I just want to get it done.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I did it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on to the next thing. But Desiree, she asking me, if I tell her an idea, I have to be ready for Jesus.
It unfurls. High five Desiree behind the camera. I know exactly what you mean.
Stresses me out. But what this has done is made me think, take a step back of my excitement about a thing and say, how will this actually work?
Yeah.
At least give me asking myself 3 to 5 questions because I know she's gonna give me 50.
Yeah. That's what people say about me all the time.
Before I tell, I was like, hey, I just need you to listen. And my line does right. I just say, hey, I need you to listen, and I need you to lean into what I'm saying, and because I'm answering, because you're already gonna have some questions, right? And so I appreciate like relationships with people like you because I know that I don't have to do this alone, and it overwhelms me to think about setting up systems or processes, even though I know I need them.
Yeah.
You brought up cancer, and I remember. I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to bring it up, but I don't know. I didn't know
thriving.
how to.
Thrive through it by the grace of God.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's you overcome that. Right already. So what time period was that?
2019. So the funny thing is, we were moving and I had something going on in my throat. So we moved, so I had to go to a different doctor. And I just Googled them based on Google reviews. Shout out to Google reviews.
Shout out to Google.
So
That internet.
And the Holy Spirit. Let me tell you, because the reason I picked him was for the reviews, but only God could have led me to him because he asked me questions that he did not have to ask me. And I did not have to say yes, right? So I was going for my throat. He said, I need to do all the tests again. He did that. And he said, your throat is fine, but we found this. And that's how it was discovered. I was going in for my throat. And prior to that, he asked me, hey, you are late 40s. Do you want to do a colonoscopy as a preventative?
Yeah.
So he did it, but that's what they found. So had he not asked me, had I not said yes, had I not went to him, maybe I would not have discovered it, right? So that's why I just praise God for just the whole process. Your medical team is so important. So walk through that journey. Whole research process for months, family saying, just make a decision, me saying, this is my body, me paying $500 just to talk to you for 15 minutes and prescribe something on Amazon. Shout out to the doctors. I don't want to diminish that.
But that was your real experience.
It was.
Like, that's
how
real
I felt
thing.
in the moment.
Yeah, that's a
Doctors
real
are
thing.
necessary. Holistic doctors are necessary. So there's no shade whatsoever. But that's how I felt. I was just like, I'm expending expenses and I'm not getting the answers and I'm not settled in here. What do I do? And everybody's different. Colleague of mine, brother from another mother, he was also going through a journey and he decided to go plant-based. I can't compare my journey to his. Like, we had two different things going on. So I finally decided to do the process, and we went to Duke I call it Duke Celebration Center. I changed the name. They call it Duke Cancer Center, and walked through the journey there. It was 6 months. I wanted to quit halfway through.
It was like intensive chemo or something.
It was chemo, but I was doing, shout out to Cheryl from IV
Yes.
Vibe.
Good sis.
Yes, good sis Cheryl. But I didn't know her then, but I was doing, other IV treatments, like to fortify my journey. I was trying to drink my water, trying to walk and do things like that. And I never stopped working. I never, my life wasn't interrupted in a way. I had these declarations and it was about family. It was about finances. It was our marriage won't lack. Our finances won't lack. We'll be a source of joy and hope for other people. So when I walked in that place, I would say, hey, how you doing? I'm doing amazing. Even if I didn't feel that way. Although, sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't, but I would always say amazing. And we changed that floor in that unit in terms for the better. And brought joy there. But yeah, that was the journey. I don't want to make light of it whatsoever, but I've thrived through it by the grace of God.
So, but by this point, you were an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So how did that help or
It helped
create
tremendously.
space? Okay.
It helped tremendously because I had the flexibility, right? But I never stopped working, and I didn't want to. I didn't want this to debilitate me, So yeah, I was an entrepreneur. I had the flexibility. The team was like, you would never even know you was going through it. They knew, but.
Because were you a solopreneur or do you have people that assist you?
At the time, I was solopreneur, but I have a contract that I worked with, right? So, and we had some projects going. Like we had a whole, COVID came out. So we had a whole project going on in the city of Detroit with 100 small business during the pandemic. It was a whole lot going on. So yeah, I just didn't let it stop me. There are times I wanted to quit. You go home with medicine. You can't take a shower for the weekend. You got to wait for them to come take the thing off. Your perspiration smells like chemicals, right? So I'm not advising anybody to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
That's what I did. But I remember that stuff, right? So it puts in perspective, like what's important.
Yeah.
And I don't always remember. Sometimes you need a good old kick in the butt to be like, girl, please, you stressing over this? You went through all that.
Yeah.
Why are you tripping?
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I think it's important to understand, like, the people talk about the struggles with entrepreneurship. I would say blessings too. They talk about being able to own your time, but I think owning your time is so important in moments like that. Like my daddy, for example. I don't know if you know this or not, but he's had cancer twice. He's on his second round.
Okay.
He had Hodgkin's disease.
Okay.
At first, got cured of that, and then about 4 years ago, right after I started my podcast, he got diagnosed with this rare form. Don't ask me to say what it is because I don't understand. Okay, it's crazy.
Yeah.
However, and it took this process. It's been long. It has been long. We didn't have multiple surgeries. We've had different forms of chemo, right?
Yeah.
This more recent form of chemo has been helping more. It seems like it.
More effective.
And so it's been a 4-year journey.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine if he had to go to work.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, that's
don't do
true.
That. Hold up.
That's true.
Wait.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that. But I can only imagine if he had to go to work. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know. I'm really much. But that's the blessing that entrepreneurship allows people that deal with diseases like that. And for their families just to know that they're okay. So I'm glad you survived it. And I'm also glad that you had time to create for you to do that. I didn't expect to get it.
It's okay.
Baby, I'm a punk.
It's okay.
I'm a punk. Jesus.
Listen, your daddy's girl
Oh,
through and through.
I love my
That's
daddy
it.
down. You hear me?
Yeah, that's right.
They're my man.
That's right.
They're my man.
And
right
he's still here, so that's a blessing.
He is, and I thank
Yeah.
God for it every day. What does Cynthia want for Cent?
I'm gonna give you the off the dome answer first, then I give you a heart answer. I want to travel the world and be a secret philanthropist to fund people's business ideas and women-owned businesses and be anonymous.
How is that possible?
I want to listen. I always go home. Listen, I go home and tell my husband all the time, we need to be a millionaire by Tuesday. I say by Tuesday. He said by Tuesday. Okay. I just have these big dreams. I've always been a giver, always been a server, and I just have to I would buy somebody's wedding dress and be like go pay off the balance and not because when I was younger I was making money. And I was living at home.
Yeah.
Like when I was super young, I was like, oh. And my friends didn't necessarily, all of them, didn't have that ability. So let me go pay off the wedding dress and she don't know.
Yeah.
Or, I've always been wired that way. So I would love to have that in abundance, but I don't need credit, So
Yeah.
that's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that. And travel the world. I got to travel bug. I traveled before, but now I'm like, how do we do this for real, like all the time?
Yeah.
For the things that I want, right?
Yeah.
Not just tired from working, but travel for leisure and philanthropy, and it's a whole new world out there. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But there's a world out there that facilitates that legally, by the way. So. Let me be clear.
Please
Let me be clear on the Just Ask podcast. But just abundance and opportunities. Me, I don't think what you doing? I don't think I ever said that, but definitely not on a podcast. So the health journey interrupted our family journey. So my husband and I, we mentor children and youth for years, even before he met me, and that's probably partly why we connected. So when people say, do we have children? I say, oh, we got thousands. I said we have thousands of children that we've mentored and just took under our wing. So I see, that's so funny, but I see us adopting children, having a family, because we have a huge spiritual family, but having a family, because there's so many children out there that don't have parents, don't have guidance, so I feel like, there's just opportunity there. And I want to support women-owned businesses. I'm very big about that. Like a woman got an idea, I want to be able to fund it. That's how the AI Builder Academy came, and then AI Build Her Fund came. So the vision was have the fund to fund the businesses that you have ideas for. So I'm very passionate about that as well. And just to be at peace. And I am. Like I'm happy. I have goals that I want to attain, but I'm in a place where after you've been through things, it's like peace.
Yeah.
That's all I want. You can't buy that,
You
right?
sure can.
So when you have that, I think that's the top of my list.
Yeah.
I would love for my dad to move down to Houston. No, I'm kidding. Let me throw that in there.
Daddy, you playing.
Yeah.
You playing, Daddy.
But yeah, I'm simple. Just happy, healthy family, healthy relationships, and just be a secret millionaire.
I love it.
Billionaire, multimillionaire, just to be able to fund the gospel, fund business projects,
on.
fund it. And my name don't have to be on it.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing your heart with me. Because some people don't want kids. And that's just the truth. Some people don't want kids.
Now
But
it's
some
changed
people-
from babies. Like we don't want them no more. We too down the road for that. I used to work in the nursery, used to run the nursery too. No. So there's teenagers out there. There's middle school students that are out there that need
But
parents.
somebody that can take your legacy, like that the Lord adopted us. You
That's
know
true.
what I'm saying?
True
Like
fact. That's a fact.
We are adopted.
And that was a journey too, because I used to know I'm gonna come from my belly.
So how did you transition from like that? What was that?
Well, I had no
emotional,
choice now.
Well,
They like, girl, well,
but I just wondered.
be Sarah. No. That's the only way you won't.
Look, go back to the 5 days of prayer. Be miracle signs and wonders.
That's right.
Child, that womb healthy.
Yeah, but I thought about like and again, this is my thought process. No shade to any process, but they talked about egg donors, and it's just like, yeah, people in your family can donate. I was like, so you'll be sitting at Thanksgiving and it's really your niece, but it's your daughter. You know what I'm saying? I was like, how does this thing work?
Screaming.
So, but then in ministry, we did do, I will say this unlocked it, is we had a foster care, it wasn't a ministry, it was a mission type thing where they bring them in and educate them about foster care. And then my heart really blossomed and opened up because I was like, we could do that. Like there's so many kids out there that need, and then you're in children's ministry. That's how people say, girl, you look young. I was like, it's the kids. It was the kids. Let me tell you, they'll keep you on your toes.
They'll keep you.
So, yeah.
Listen, I think we got to do a part 2.
I agree.
Because there's so much more in there. I think we're leaving the people hanging right now. Mm-hmm. But we got to, because I see Desiree on her knees.
I've been on my knees.
I think
I gotta sit down sometimes.
I don't know what that
was
means
the signal.
But Desiree, do you want to come over and give your thoughts real quick and use my mic for it? Yes, you do. Because that was a nice way to suggest her to come over here.
I understand.
Because they gonna be like, we still need to see Desiree.
Thank you, Miss Cynthia, for having this conversation. The one thing I think that that came up again, I was driving one day, and I was kind of talking to the Lord about AI, something about. I had did a devotional for a community, and I took all of the way the Lord kind of deals with me is kind of random. Yeah. So I took all my things and I organized it, and I call him George, but it's really ChatGPT.
We call him George.
And delivered it. The people were blessed, X, Y, and Z. But then I started to feel a little guilty, because I used an AI tool. To organize my thoughts. The Holy Spirit said, okay, so like you mentioned, people use the Concordian.
Yeah.
We use Google.
That's the word I was looking for, Concordian.
He said, what does a carpenter use? Does a carpenter use his hands to nail the nails? He uses his tools.
That's good.
He said, what does the plumber use when he got to go in the toilet? When he ain't using his hands in the toilet, he's using the snake to get the toilet out.
That's right.
So he just said, use the tools.
Yeah.
Use the tools. And I think as we just open our minds up to the possibilities, because there's nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so grateful there's people out there that's teaching it in such a healthy, tangible way, to keep the people safe and how they're supposed to be using it. So I enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah,
and
thank you. Thank you so much.
Having her back.
Yeah, real bad.
Thank you. I would love to be back. I would love to be back.
Because you my girl. You my girl.
Absolutely.
None of the rest of y'all can call her Cent. They're my girl. She was like, one day she called me. She said, I was like, hey, Cent, how you doing? She was like, Jessica, you called me Cent, and you sound like my mama.
Yeah. Yeah. She used to call me. Rest in heaven, mama.
Rest in heaven.
She's like, Cent.
And I tear it up now. I'm like, Cent. I done called her frustrated and called her crying.
That's right. With 3 exclamation points behind Cent.
Every time.
I know.
Consistency is the only cheat code.
Consistency is the only. If you use 3 exclamation points, always use it.
Always use it. Okay. But although this is only part 1 of our conversation, I don't want to leave them completely hanging. So I know we talked about a lot of things. I know we talked about, AI with faith and using it as an assistant, but we also talked about the beauty of entrepreneurship and how that helped you on your journey with your cancer. But you might have come up here with something on your heart. And so I want to leave the floor to you and let you have the final words before we close out.
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me. I love the ethos behind your podcast, just transparency in a safe space. I didn't know I was going to talk about adoption and kids and stuff like that. We haven't, how things are here and you bring them here. That's what you did. You created the environment for that. So I would say pursue purpose. Always pursue purpose and keep God first. That might sound a little cliche, but when you got boots on the ground and you're in the middle of those valleys where you feel like you were winning, and now you don't know what's going on, trust the God that kept you in those seasons of winning because he's still there. Yeah, I would say that more and more, we talked about efficiency and burnout and things like that. God is the sustainer.
Come on.
So always leaning on him. And I think that's what's kept me grounded through seasons of life, seasons of marriage. You grow and you learn. God first, always. Even before AI, like, okay. Because we're going to need it, because with the self-improvement thing, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, keep God first and pursue purpose. Purpose and impact.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being you. Thank you for accepting me as your good sis.
Absolutely.
The baby sis, honey, because I sure be tearing your line up. And I'm like, sit, I don't know what But I love you dearly, and I can't wait. We can't wait to have you again. You actually have a standing invitation, so
awesome.
when you feel like coming back,
absolutely,
you just say, "Hey,
I'm in Alabama. Open up that studio. I know it ain't the second Saturday."
No, the schedule.
I know it ain't the second. Listen, let me tell y'all something about Jessica. One time she sent me the calendar and it wasn't nothing open until 7 months from now. No, I'm just kidding. I said, well, let me get this book.
See, when you text me, you said, hey, fam, you ain't got nothing until December. And I was like,
it was like May.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's not ready. But she respected. She said, oh, she's serious about herself, and that's the thing, you respect with people where they are. And I'm just great. Yeah. But this is a standing, since she didn't call second Saturday.
Second Saturday.
I'm still
We record on the second Saturday. I'm coming on the Wednesday. Be like, where you at? No, I'm kidding.
Hey, we made way. We made way.
That's funny.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you in real life. We love you. If you want a podcast summit this year, shame on you.
Be here next year, for sure.
Be here next year, 2027. You might get to meet my girl, okay?
I plan on being here.
I plan on being here, too.
Yeah.
We a dynamic duo, okay? Hey. So, but until next... Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it. Hey, dynamic duo. Let's do that again.
Yeah. We're going to edit that one. No, I'm playing.
But no, you guys, this has been great. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tell us what you thought. Share this with somebody you know they need it, okay? But until next time, until next week, remember, life could be much more simple if you just ask.
What's up, you guys? We hope you enjoyed that episode. If it resonated with you, make sure you like it. Now, if you thought about somebody as you were listening and you think they could benefit from it, go ahead and share it with them. Sharing is caring, right? And we're here every Thursday. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the notifications when a new episode drops. So until next week, guys, peace.